what you need. 104,000. That was 171,000 damage. He just did in one attack. What's up, everybody? Dirtbag Gaming here, the channel of Casual Raiders. Appreciate you clicking on this video. Go Philadelphia if you guys are in the area. But we're going to be doing a guide on Grizzled Jarl. This guy's been around for a little bit. He's an epic champion dwarf. So once the dwarf faction came out, he's probably one of the best ones everybody was striving for. And the reason because is it helps out a lot with the clan boss. Like a lot with the Green Affinity clan boss, which is one of the hardest clan bosses to do. I know there's only 4 of them, but this one is probably the hardest one. And so we're going to go over like the mechanics of how to beat it. We're going to go over the gear, mastery, skills, of everything about Grizzle, and kind of show what he can actually do for you. So here's the run I literally just did like 30 seconds ago before I made this video. Just kind of see what the averages were that he's pulling in for the clan boss. So for my Grizzled, he hits really hard. Like, he's pretty tanky. He's full geared up. He's got 5.6 million for the clan boss, which did over Bad L, half of Draco, and actually more than Alton. So my other legendary champion, my Grizzled, actually did more. And the thing about Grizzled is he skips a turn because he's only putting up a buff. Alton hits the clan boss and puts up a buff at the same time. So Grizzled is actually doing 1 less attack every 3 turns. So imagine if he was able to do that extra attack every turn, he'd be 7-8 million maybe. So that's an example of what you do. This is a 3-key. So if you're 3-keying the Green Affinity, you're doing pretty well. If you're 2-keying, you have like probably an unkillable team, which I do not have. And if you're 1-keying, you definitely have an unkillable team. But we're going to go with Grizzle. So let's go into the champions. We have Grizzled Jarl, who's in my vault, sadly, just for storage because I'm not really going to tune him up at all. So obviously, you're going to want a lifesteal set on him. So when you're putting him into the clan boss, you're going to want to go lifesteal just because he needs to heal himself back up. Bad L can't do all the heals by himself. So you either want to put him in a Stalwart set to take less damage, or you want him in the lifesteal set, which I would definitely recommend the lifesteal set. So firstly, we're aiming for him. He doesn't have a buff that we're trying to put up. He's got the heal reduction. We don't want that on the clan boss. So unless you're putting him into like strictly faction wars or strictly PvP or anything like that, you can get some accuracy on him. What's best about champions that don't need accuracy, you boost up all of their other stats. So their crit rate, their crit damage, their defense, their speed, all the other stats are like non-existent for the accuracy, which is awesome. So we booked him up to get this. This is what's going to help you out in the clan boss. Place the block debuff on all allies for 1 turn. Then he dropped the stick. Then places a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. So basically, you're buffing your allies and you're blocking the speed debuff. So the A1 hits really hard. Sometimes you'll see it for like 120k plus the War Master proc. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but he drops his stick and looks around, and then it's like, oh crap, let me pick that back up. Has a 35% chance split. So yeah, so again, we don't need the LP reduction. This last one's kind of just there. It's an AoE. It's really good for the faction wars. So it minus attacks on the clan boss. You can use this if you don't have a attacker debuff on the clan boss, but it's only a 4-turn cooldown. So if you get this down to a 4-turn cooldown, it's not going to be enough for the clan boss. You're going to need somebody to either extend that or another minus attacker. That's why I don't care about his accuracy, because I have Alton. So his masteries, we're going as super tanky as possible. Again, we don't need the accuracy, so that tree is just gone. So we went defense route, take less damage. This one is like take less damage. This is a counterattack, so if you lose 25%, he gets a counterattack. And then we just want to go all the way down to War Master. So if I were to finish this off, it would probably, because this one you don't need because you're not getting stunned. So with the clan boss, there's not going to be any stun and none of that stuff, so this is kind of like a waste. You can go, you don't need this because you don't want the turn meter boost. It's only just the first hit. So you probably go either this one or this one. I mean, you're not going to, so like, if you're going to go, you're probably going to go this just for 3 extra damage and maybe 6 for War Master or Arena. So I would just finish off with this one right here. So these are the things, and then let's go back to his artifacts. So we want as much defense as possible. So we got defense, crit damage, so he does some damage, defense, I put crit rate. You can do defense buffs if you have enough crit rate. I wanted him to hit hard, so he has over 100 crit rate, which you don't need. Defense, speed, speed and crit rate, crit damage on that one was pretty good, and then HP. And all right, so these are his total stats. The last run, he was actually the last one to survive. I know he's the strong affinity on that clan boss, but he only has 35,000 health. He's got 4.7 thousand defense, 194 speed, which is exactly what I need him for because he's speed tuned. 106 crit, so I could probably lose a little bit of crit. 168 critical damage, and then these don't matter, but that's his stats. So it's just normal basic stats. He's an epic, so his total defense is 1,200. There are some guys out there that have like 1,500 defense, but that's what he's got. So where is he good? He's good in anywhere you need to block buffs, AoE damage, tanky. So he's going to be really good for you in the Faction Wars. He's also going to be good for you in really like any of the dungeons that like you just need a tank to kind of push you through it. This one, he's the strong affinity in the Ice Golem, so he can be used for the final boss to kind of like block some freezes. He's not going to help you in the second wave because you need a block cooldown or block buffs on the second wave. For the dragon, everybody's good in the dragon. Like anybody you run in stage 20 with the dragon should be good. The Fire Knight, he's a weak affinity on the Fire Knight. You're not really going to need any debuff blocks, so he might not be the best there. And Spider, he's going to block the poisons for you, as well as decrease attack on the spiders. He's got an AoE, he's got increased defense. That's really always. So if you're brand new, you might run him the spider, but if you're later on in the game, you're mainly going to use him for the clan boss. So I leveled him up because my green affinity clan boss was not doing well at all. So let's show you some PvP. If you got him, like I said, he hits hard on the clan boss. I wonder how hard he hits for the PvP. We got a team right here. This is just going to show you what he can potentially do for you. He's only got a single. He's got an AoE, so we'll see how much AoE he hits for. He's at 197 speed, so it's not fast for the arena. But this is just for you guys. Debuff. Alright, so now let's try the AoE. Let's slow it down. We got this one right here. So it decreases attack, but he's only got like 100 and some accuracy. It's cool aesthetic. Like 20k. Not a lot. I want to see what his A1 hits for. So let's decrease speed. Nope. Basher's like no health, so they always kill the Basher. Alright, so now they have all buffed up. So let's. Obviously, you're probably seeing like he would if you're gonna have him strictly go PvP. Your best chance is to do resist, like a resistance team. Yeah, so he's not going to be the nuker for you. I mean, he's got 100% crit, 160 crit damage, so it's not bad. He's got like almost 4k HP. But this team is just not made to boost him up. I'm increasing his attack, not his defense. There you go, increase defense for 2 turns. Let's see if we can kill her. Come on, Grizzle. Every time it's funny, it's like when you've been playing or doing this for YouTube and stuff, there's this guy Kizzle. So every time I see Grizzle, I think of Kizzle. I don't know if that's weird. Alright, so finish her off. Boom! 37,000! Great. Let's see if we can solo the rest of the team. That's probably enough. 12,000. Alright, so he's not my PvP guy. I don't think he's gonna be your PvP. If you're gonna use him, you're gonna use him for the clan boss. That's kind of why you're using him. So let me show you what teams would be good with him. Now, if you saw, he only has the minus the cooldown blocker for 1 turn. So why the green affinity clan boss is so hard? Because he has the decreased speed, which screws up everything, and the stun. So I brought a Bad L in for taking away the speed, and then he takes away the stun. Or if you have another person that can cleanse or extend the buff. So another partner person with Grizzle is the Yelling Orc right here, Sand/Survivor. What she does is, as long as she's after Grizzle, she can then extend Grizzle's buff for another turn. So then you ignore the decreased speed and the stun back to back. And she does a lot of damage. So she extends all of your buffs, and she decreases the attack buff from the clan buffs. I don't know why I pointed at the screen. The attack buffs from the clan buffs. So these two, I actually got them up to like, I think it was like 25 million damage, I think, with these two combined instead of the Bad L. I just like the Bad L because it's more consistent, and I messed up the speed for my Sandslash. So what I did was Grizzle and Sandslash has to go after this guy right here, after the counterattack guy. And the reason because is if you put up the aura, block buffs, and then she extends it, and then he goes, and then it goes down to a 1-turn cooldown. So then the following turn, the clan boss stuns your counterattack guy, and then it messes up the whole thing. So I don't want to boost up the speed on my counterattack guy to mess up everything. So I'd rather just not use her, even though it was fun with her. So if you have her, use her, and you don't have a Bad L, use her or anybody else that extends buffs. Make sure they go after the counterattack. Trust me, that's how you have to plan this one out. So it's going to go like one of these two, Grizzle, Sand/Survivor, and then your counterattack person. And then it'll be fine. So that's kind of how you do it. But we're doing it this way, so let me show you. You have to set up this team because you don't want Bad L or Grizzle to use their skills first. So take it off auto. The first thing, you just want to do some damage. You don't want to do that, so you just want to do A1. This. So you don't want to do this one, so you can just do the A3. And then counterattack. So then I think it takes like 3 turns to set this team up. And then we'll kind of let it run through a little bit, but just look at his attacks. Like sometimes he hits over 100k, which is phenomenal. So we don't want to do the A2 yet. I'll show you when we do the A2. Alright, so we don't want to do that. And then he's really fast. Like I probably have to retune him, but I don't need to because I'm doing enough damage. But you don't want him to go first every single time. Like he's actually lapping the boss. Alright, so look, the decreased speed is up. So this is where you want to use Bad L for this. Now, if you didn't have a Bad L and you had him and Sandslash, he would have done his A2 a turn before. So that way nobody got minus speed. And then Sandslash would have done her A2 to kind of increase the buff. So that way you don't get stunned as well. So now him, he's going to do his A1. Now he's going to do this one. So when he does this, notice that he's gone, but he has less health, and he's the weak affinity, so he goes after him every single time. So that's kind of how it has to be. If he has less health, you might go after him, and it won't be up on him, so he has less health, so it goes after him. So now this is the only thing you have to set up. So I don't want this, because this gives me the increased defense, but I already have it up. 2 turns on everybody but him. So we're going to do this. And then we just put it on auto. So now this is an auto team. So everything just kind of runs the way it was. Again, I did the same exact thing in the screen before. You saw they did like 30 something million. I forget what it was. So it's just like he doesn't really take a lot of damage. He's got so much defense. He hit for 92k there plus the War Master proc. Like he's hitting for as much as the legendary, if not more. You saw the things that he did. He hit for more than Alton, and Alton's a legendary. 57k, and again, he's spending 1 turn to put up buffs, so he's not even attacking. That's what's so cool about Grizzle is he's got 3 attacks. He hits hard. He's tanky, and he's there specifically for what you need. 104,000. That was 171,000 damage. He just did in 1 attack. So even though he messes up on a turn, it makes up for how much raw damage he does. But like I said, the AI is smart on him. He just does what he has to do. So this is kind of what it does for the rest of the match. I think I made it up to 32 turns or something the last time. See, this team, it's anywhere from like 19 million for RNG up to 26 million or 27 million. But it's usually a 3 key. So this team right here is a 3 key. I haven't got down to a 2 key yet on the green. On the blue and red, I have, but the green affinity, I have not got down to a 2 key. It's always been a 3 key. If you 4 key it, hey, you're fine. As long as you do it early enough in the day, you get 2 more keys later in the day, that's fine. Like, guys, we're casual raiders. We don't care about 1 keying, 2 keying unless you have a mandate. If you have a mandate, to make that team as fast as possible. Because then you're just getting more rewards from all the other clan bosses. 114,000. All right, cool. So I'm going to let this run out for you guys, and then we will come back at the end, and I'll show you how much damage we did with him. Okay? Okay, guys, and here we are. If you haven't subscribed, guys, I really appreciate you for the subscribers because we've just been pumping out videos almost every single day, and with the Doom Tower coming up, there's so much good stuff to talk about with the Doom Tower that right now it's just overload in YouTube, and being able to solo the crab boss on hard, watch that video because it's super awesome. If you have it, Belugan, definitely use it. But let's get back to Grizzle. Grizzle did 4.46 million damage. Alton did 4.46 million damage. So comparing an epic to a legendary is pretty cool to say in this game that you have somebody that could potentially be a legendary. It just has a purple ring around his picture instead of a yellow ring. So that's his damage. He did 21.5 million. Again, it's RNG. But look at that. Like that is awesome. So this is a 3 key for us today. We got an extra key from the Plarium today. I don't know why, but we got an extra key, so I'm probably gonna use it today. Just every time I have a green clan boss, I always use the extra key just because it's the hardest one, and you might as well. But the summons are coming up. Make sure you guys are preparing for the summons, getting up as much silver as possible, making sure you're doing all of your dungeons like these keeps. Make sure you have enough potions. Make sure you have enough guys to level up and boost up the summons. But guys, any questions about Jarl, leave them in the comments below. I love this guy. He's just a really good champion. If you get him, level him up. He's worth getting to 60. He's going to help you out getting him to your clan boss team and getting those rewards every single day or 3 days. And he drops a stick every single 3 days. He's worth it. Trust me. I waited for him a while to level this guy up. Once I did, I'm so glad I did. So if you have him and a Sand/Survivor, level them both up. Watch that video. Watch my Green Affinity Clan boss. It explains how to use it in that video. But guys, appreciate the time. Good luck with everything. Thanks for clicking on the video, and enjoy the rest of your week.